Hi, my name's Chip Lindsey. I'm the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach here at UCF in beautiful Orlando, Florida. Here today to talk a little bit about some quarterback play, specifically wanted to talk a little bit about quarterback development. I think that's something that's used a lot, a word that's thrown around a lot, or two words, I guess. But, I think there's a lot to that, and just going to talk through a few things today that I think are really important. Then also at the end, maybe give you one screen that hopefully you can use and might help you win more games wherever you are. I think quarterback development, obviously this day and age, is the key to success. We all understand that you're not going to have a great football team probably or win a championship unless you have a quarterback that can operate, that can do things that aren't necessarily always maybe not always on schedule like you'd like, but a guy that can make things happen, a guy that makes great decisions, a guy that's a competitor. All those things go along with it in this quarterback development that we're talking about. But a couple of things I think that are also important on the field that we'll talk about today are obviously starting with fundamentals, making sure that you have a good sound base of fundamentals and being able to play the position in a good position, as well as developing yourself from a football standpoint. I'm going to talk about one of those aspects as well today. So first, we're going to talk about some quarterback drills that we like to do, especially in the springtime. Everywhere I've been, whether I've been with Coach Malzahn or not, we've always, in the spring, really try to hone in on these guys doing some kind of fundamental drill work. Obviously, with the limitations in the fall, sometimes you're limited on how much you get to do that. But I think it's important to try to build that nucleus, and our guys continue to work on it on their own throughout the summer and even into the fall sometimes as well. But so I was going to run through our quarterback drill tape to start with. I put a clip or two of each drill as we're going through it, and I kind of named the drills different things. You name them what you want. Hopefully you'll get a few that you can take with you. All right, so we'll get started here going with quarterback indie drills, okay? So when we talk about quarterback indie drills, we're talking about how can we simulate drills that help us play better during the game. And obviously everybody does the drops on the line drill that we talk about. And I think it's really important to make your quarterbacks understand that line that we're going to work off of, and however you do your drops on the line is up to you. A lot of times I've started here on the sideline and done drops back off the sideline. Even used to have them always shuffle out to the hash and back. Those are two good drills. But also I think it's important for them to understand that this line runs through the center to the midpoint of where we are. Most of the time protections are built with the O-line having an understanding that the quarterback is going to be in a certain spot dead behind the center at a certain depth, depending on the concept you're throwing. So I think it's important for our quarterbacks to understand why this line's important. And then I also think it's a great way for quarterbacks to learn the proper drops by using the line to get their body in a good position to throw. So here we would start early on. You can see that we're just kind of getting these guys a ball, letting them straddle that line. We did go to a left foot front stance. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about stance because you see a lot of people do it different ways. I've been square stance before. I've been left foot forward like this, like here. Either way, I don't know that one is always better than the other. Whatever drop you're using, whether you teach punch plan on quick game or whether you teach just open shuffle, it doesn't matter. I think it's important for you to build your base and whatever gets your guys in the best position. This particular year, we were going with left foot forward. You can see they all have their left foot in front and they're straddling the line, okay? So as we go here, we would kind of spin the ball just to simulate catching a snap, and we're working a quick game drop here, okay? So this would be like these guys are just basically reaching, their left foot stays down, and they would reach, and they're throwing quick game to the left, inside out, usually, whatever concept it is, and really just trying to check these guys and making sure they have a good base, okay? We don't want the ball too low. A couple of guys are a little bit low here. I would like for them to have it a little bit higher, but anywhere that's comfortable in their framework below their chin, I think is important, okay? And obviously we want to keep away when we talk about throwing from a long windup, but I think it's important to have two hands on the ball, have it in a good, comfortable position. Your elbows are relaxed, not rigid. You can talk about all these things, especially in the spring when you're going through this tape with your guys, having a good stance, having the weight inside balls of your feet. I think that's really important, not to be up on your toes and obviously not to be on your heels. And get your eyes and your front shoulder in a direction where your body is going to throw the football. So all those are little checkpoints I think you can talk through. And obviously in college football, after you've been with them for sure, then, you get through these things a little quicker. But you can do all 3 of your drops here if you have 3 drops. This particular year, we had a quick game drop that was left foot down with 1 big shuffle, feet are in the ground, we're ready to throw. Then we would have 2 shuffles or 2 slides, when we were throwing intermediate, and then we would have a left foot first, shuffle. We called that one an open shuffle. So, we had the shuffle, we had the open shuffle, and open shuffle was kind of the way we classified our 3 drops, okay? Quick game, intermediate, and drop back. So you can see right here, we're not throwing, we're not taxing them. This is a warm-up period before practice. People just working, getting their individual work here, and the quarterbacks are throwing to the left. Now they're throwing to the right. You can see the quarterback here, he gets off the midline. All of them are getting off that way because they know they're throwing the ball that way, trying to get their body aligned to the target, okay? Like to see his shoulder a little more closed. But good job there with the drops, with the quick game drop. Next, we talk about the weave drill. This is just what we call the weave drill. And what we're trying to do here is get them used to climbing in the pocket or moving in the pocket with 2 hands on the ball and being able to weave according to the rush. We would love to always have a perfect pocket. I mean, that would be great. But we also understand that typically it's not, right? So we have to do a good job, I believe, of simulating as much as we can of moving within the pocket, but also able to have a good base, be on balance, and throw accurately. And I think that's kind of what we thought as we started doing these drills. What can we create? What drills can we create, or we've stolen from other people, whatever you want to say, that we can make these guys get comfortable moving in the pocket. This is not necessarily always a comfortable way to move. 2 hands on the ball with a good base, always ready to throw. We don't ever want the quarterbacks to have their heels together and so forth. He's in a good athletic stance, but we got to get them trained to where they can obviously move in the pocket with a good base, always protect the ball from the defender, but at the same time keeping your eyes down the field. And I think if you go back and look at the good quarterbacks, wherever they are, whatever level they are, or maybe you've had a great one yourself, they've always been good at keeping their eyes downfield while they're moving around in the pocket, escapability inside the pocket. So nice job there. He's just giving them a simulator of a rush, and he slide steps that way, pushes off with his inside pad of his left foot, and now we're just weaving through the drill. So we just kind of rotate. And again, these aren't taxing. These are warm-up drills, lead-up drills that we do during our pre-practice period, and we're just giving these guys an opportunity to weave through, okay? Next, we go wave drill. So wave drill, a little different. This is more the old school wave drill where the coach there gets them a drop. He'll tell them a play. One thing we try to always do, I think is a good coaching point, is we try to give them the play and let them communicate to the O-line. Whatever your communication is, make them do that. And I think that just trains them. It just trains them to the best thing you can do is brainwash these guys where it's second nature. So we'll train these guys to go through the communication. They'll get the drop that coordinates with the play. And then after that, we're going to move them around in the pocket. And after this, we're just really trying to simulate a guy that's really trying to find his target. As you can see, the guy starts moving behind him here. And we're just trying to make these guys pick up the target quick, get their body in a good position to throw. You can see when he turned around, he had no idea where that guy was. And that's what you want, because how many times do you get flush inside the pocket? You know where your running back's in the area or the receiver's coming into the area based on the concept, but at the same time, you don't get eyes on him till late, and you got to make a good, quick decision. So we love this drill. I think it's it's old school, it's fundamentals. I wouldn't wear them out here. Just make them get the picture of, moving in the pocket and being able to slide step each side. Also keeping the ball, always talk about the ball in a good position to throw. And then, we just move a guy around in different spots, just trying to make him get his eyes on the target quickly, make a quick decision, and get the ball out of his hand. Again, these are like 10 or 15-yard throws, not very long. Again, not very taxing on the arm. I think that's one thing you have to keep in mind as you do drill work, if you throw the football a lot, is try to do as much drill work as you can that doesn't tax the guy's arm, because they're going to go throw pat and go. They're going to go throw quick, routes on air. They're going to go throw or individual routes, and then team and 7-on-7 and so forth. And I think it's important to make sure you take care of them as much as you can. At the same time, you're trying to get your work in. So this is what we call the wave drill. So we're just old school wave drill, and then we've added the ability of them just to find the target quickly. Okay, and I think it's also important to try to mix these drills up. Like, you may only do 3 of these drills a day, and try to get in a routine. I used to chart mine. On Tuesdays, I do these drills. Wednesdays, I do these drills. Thursdays, I do these drills. And, our drill time, because of practice time and requirements that we have on our guys during the week, a lot of them, we have to find ways to get them, whether it's during special teams or pre-practice or whatever. So all those things are important. Okay, this is the old deal, run-up throws. So when we talk about run-up throws, for a long time, I never worked this drill. I said, you know what, guys that can move and make plays inside the pocket. I wanted to recruit quarterbacks that weren't necessarily always dual threat guys, so to speak, but we wanted guys that can move inside the pocket and keep themselves alive. And I think some guys have a natural ability to do that while at the same time keeping their eyes downfield. Some guys have no feel and they look at the rush or whatever. They can be a great athlete and maybe get out of there and make a play, but a lot of times they miss big plays down the field. Most big plays, if you think about it, if you watch Patrick Mahomes, you watch even Joe Burrow and all those guys, they make plays in and out of the pocket. So this is just a few clips of our run-up drill that we call them run-up throws, and we're giving them the simulation of a rush, and he's escaping, but at the same time, we're giving these guys a play and telling them to get to the fourth read in the play or the fifth read, and he'll know where that is based on the play. So we're verbally telling him that, and then he's going to escape and really work on throwing on the run. And I think that's important. So not throwing on the run's not always just rolling out right or rolling out to the left or often naked, which we do those drills. But I think these are the drills to focus on. If you're going to throw the football and drop back or quick game, 30 or 40 times, even 50 times, we've all done that before, then these are the times I think these drills become extremely important. The more I've coached, the more I've realized that. I think, like I said earlier, there's not a lot of times where you can just have a clean pocket, set your feet, and throw. So good job here. These guys are just simulating an upfield rush, having to step up, which I think is extremely important. And I would stop right now and say that I think as you get young quarterbacks, especially in high school, but even as you're bringing freshmen into college, a lot of these kids don't understand necessarily why we ask them to get a certain depth in the pocket. Why is that? Well, they don't understand their protection. So please, I think the most important thing to get them the aha moment for them when they understand is when you say, this is how we're protecting, this is where we expect you to be. And I've been guilty of skipping that sometimes over the years. But once they understand why we do certain things, I think it makes it easier for them to understand. So now, as we escape the pocket, we understand that, we have to step up to help our tackles out, which was my whole point. Making sure that, Coach, why do you keep saying step up? Why can't I get a drop to the yardage you're telling me and then just sit there and throw it? Well, because obviously we got really good players rushing the passer, and we got to help those guys out some, and stepping up is a big way to do that. But love what they're doing there. They're stepping up. Their eyes are up. They're getting on top of the ball, and they're working on different types of throws and platform. And we did it to the left for this video clip. You can put the guy here down the middle. You can make him escape this way and get a guy coming this way. Obviously, we don't love throwing back across the field. You could even get a back out here. He's sliding up and he turns and throws to the back. Whatever you want to work, mix it up, make it fun, make it competitive, and that's a good way to do it. So bag drills is the next one. So these are just old school bag drills, shuffling through the pockets. Quarterbacks hate these. Those legs burn a little bit. But like I tell them, you're not up there like the O-line, D-line, and linebackers and running backs. So you got to go to work too. So obviously right here, we want to work on working the ball, protecting it with your hands. We want to work on keeping a good base, keeping our feet apart and not clicking our heels. And then we just add the little run, trying to escape, working on maybe some athleticism. We watched Joe Burrow the other night do these kind of things. I think those are things. And you put this in their head and you make them work on these things. And I really believe that the guys that really care and want to be good players, they'll carry these things over and they'll go, it's always fun when they come up to you during the game and goes, hey, that was that run-up drill we did. Did you see that or whatever? And those guys that care a lot about it, they'll keep up with that. And then right here, obviously, when we're escaping, we're simulating that you're having to escape. And then we want to get ourselves back downhill so we can get good throw. And, this guy right here, he kind of went sidearm fading. Yeah, and there's times you're going to have to throw the ball that way, depending on where the defenders are. So we kind of let them be creative here, as you've seen Patrick Mahomes and those guys in the NFL do. And these guys have seen it too. So there's a good job right there of getting his shoulders back downhill toward the target. He really did a good job getting on top of the ball. So this is the old school bag drill. And we added the element of stepping over the bags on the way out. And it's hard to create always what they're going to see in a game. but that's another good way to do it. You can do that both ways, left and right, okay? Quick throws, so this is one where we, in our quick game, whether it's screen game or quick games, throwing stick or any of the things we like to do, we want the quarterback to be able to catch the ball quickly, get his hands in a good spot to throw the ball. Like on screens, a lot of times we don't tell them they have to grab the laces. Guys with bigger hands, that's easier to do. But we really want those guys to work on catching, getting the ball out. I think this is something that is somewhat of a lost art. Guys that have quick hands can catch the ball in a good position and get the ball out. Whether you're beating the blitz, whether it's a screen, whether it's a zero coverage and you've got a great slant here that's going to score like we had one this past year, and we're just working on the 3 different areas of the field, left, middle, and right, and trying to get these guys to get a good stance, boom, in and out, work on catching the ball and getting it out. You'd be amazed at how many kids have trouble at this early on of just getting a good grip on the ball. I think he's doing a nice job there of getting the ball in his hand good. He's not always grabbing the laces because he wants to, get the ball out of his hand, but nice job of getting and catching the snap. I mean, some kids have trouble doing that, especially in a blitz situation, red zone, third down, whatever you're saying. So this kid's a little bit slower. He was younger, a little bit longer throwing motion. And he was a guy that a lot of times he would overthink those things, and he actually slowed down because he was processing. But then when you'd see it and the heat was on in a live setting, his arm was quick. So some of these guys get mental blocks because they overthink, and I think that's important. These drills should help with that. I would tell him when we came back and watched this the next day, come on, man, you're too slow here. The ball's got to get out. The ball's got to get out quicker. You can see this guy, I mean, he's seeding it quick, ball's out, boom. Not even worried about the laces, and he's looking for the next one. Okay, so some guys are better. It's like the old guys that play baseball that are, that turn double plays. Some are really good at it, some aren't. Another one here, we're just adding different numbers to it, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Okay, and he's really getting the ball out. So nice job there. Working on catching the ball and getting the ball out of your hand. Okay, screen throws. We always want to work whatever screens we're in. And so I would say, if a good way to do this, I felt like when we've been our best at throwing screens, we did team screen periods, okay, where we, block dummies or coaches standing out there. And B, the best screens guys that we've had are the guys that throw screens accurately. What I mean by that is any kind of tunnel screen or bubble screen or whatever, there's a certain place that you want the ball. Be very specific where your receiver can stay on the move while he's running these screens. I think that's extremely important. This drill, not necessarily for this. This day we were doing basically fast screens, okay? What some people call Randy's, Larry's, fast screens, spots, whatever you want to call it. But we're making them catch the ball and simulate, hey, the ball's either a bad snap, and really just trying to quicken their hands up, okay? Quicken their hands up. We make them put it above their head just to make it competitive, keep up with it. Another way to just be competitive, right? Keep score. These guys love to do that because they get down here in these drills, and you can just go through the drills and be boring and monotonous, or you can make it competitive. And we try to do that. Obviously, I think it's a way to keep them engaged. In this day and age, this generation, anytime you can keep them engaged, then that's the key to success in teaching. Okay, 4-cone figure 8 drill here. I'm sure everybody does this drill. So you put 4 cones out, and we'll get a guy in the middle. And really, again, we're working now. He's going through a progression first. So we would give him a play, okay, and he would step up, and then he would communicate the protection to the O-line, simulate that. If you signal the receiver's great. If not, don't worry about it. But we make him go through the whole process. Then we get him a snap, and he goes through the progression. You can see his eyes and feet are going through the progression. And as he's doing that, he's also feeling the quarterback, coach, or whoever's here running the drill of telling him where to go. And so his eyes, we want his eyes up. As you look down there, we wouldn't want that. We want his eyes up as much as we can, and then just make him figure 8 around the drill. Why do we do the figure 8? What I've seen over the years is anytime you can make them stay in a balanced stance and in a power position where we can get the ball out whenever we need to. In other words, our heels don't click. We don't stand tall from the standpoint of straight up. We're in an athletic stance. We're protecting the ball with 2 hands. I can't stress enough. I say that all the time to our quarterbacks because obviously turnovers kill you. And that's what we're trying to do. So it's a good way to emphasize all the little things that you want to teach, that you emphasize verbally while they're doing the drill. And some of the guys get really good at this drill where you go in and out it quick. Others, it takes a little time. But it's a good way to teach these guys to keep a base, okay? Keep a base. And you see how his feet are getting too close together. We don't like that. We want to keep a good base. We want to make sure that their feet are at least shoulder width apart. And he was kind of a tall guy, so you want him to get down in a good stance, a good athletic stance, okay? So you can see this guy's here, his feet are working together. Boom. And then you can mix up. They don't have to always go around the 4 cones. You can move these guys around to simulate running backs on checkdowns or guys running the mesh or whatever. So really good job there. 4 cone, figure 8 drill. Another good way. And again, we're not doing all these drills every day, okay? We're picking 2 to 3 drills each and every day and trying to keep it. And I'm just giving you ideas today. That's it. Just showing you some ideas, and that we will just, throughout the season, just rotate these drills in or out. Okay, progression drops. I think this is really good here, especially early on when you get new quarterbacks. We all have, this is the line of scrimmage here. So around the 5-yard area is usually where quick game routes are, okay? And we use the receivers here to stand out here. You can see this was probably after practice, so we're doing this for video, but they're standing out here. Use receivers, or you can use managers or other quarterbacks. And we've got a guy in the quick game area, ball's on the left hash and about the 5-yard, and then we're going to work his quick game drop. And then immediately we're going to go to what I refer to as our intermediate distance, which, as you can see, is about 15, usually a 12 to 15-yard area, or sometimes it could be like a 6-step out on time or whatever. He'll work that drop. And then we'll have a deeper one where he'll work that drop. So let's start through these. This would be our quick game drop. This year, we basically kept our left foot down, and I would want him to push back just a little bit, okay? Now, I will tell you this, obviously simulating the snap when it's not live, and the guy's already downfield, so it's going to be a little quicker than a normal team setting. But the point is, I don't love his drop here because this was the first spring. This was back in the spring, and it was new to us. But I wanted them to push with their left foot on quick game drop and try to gain a yard off the 5-yard distance. So, in other words, you're going to be at 6 yards with your back foot instead of 5. So I would ask him to get a little deeper on that. Now we're going to the intermediate drop. And what this one was called a shuffle drop. Okay, so here he goes here. Now he's going to shuffle. You can see he's fighting the temptation because this was new. Left foot, and then just shuffle. Shuffle. And what we would tell him here is this would be like a 2 shuffle. Okay, don't love the depth he's getting. Like for him to get a little deeper. But all we're doing is working the footwork and throwing the depth. It's not necessarily drive the ball as hard as you can. Again, we're just throwing depths. Obviously, we're using the receivers here so they get a chance to catch a couple balls. Now, the deeper drop. This is what we would refer to maybe as a drop back drop, or for our drop back game. In this one, this is the only drop that we go left foot first, okay? And this was obviously this year, okay? This was my first year to do these 3 drops. I've typically done punch plant for quick game, rhythm 3 for the medium routes, and big 3 for the others. So whatever you do, it doesn't matter. Whatever you believe in and whatever you coach and whatever fits your offense, that's what you do. But if you're going to throw quick game or drop back, it's a great drill. Now he's going to go open shuffle, shuffle, boom, shuffle, open, shuffle. Here he is. And now we want to get momentum. I got to drive the ball. He's probably simulating a corner route here or any kind of ball down the field, whether it's back shoulder or whatever. Okay, next quarterback's up. Again, this was new to us. I would like for him to gain a little deeper, but you can see left foot's in front and we're catching and getting the ball out. And that's the big thing there. Now he's going intermediate drop, so he's open shuffle. There it is. And now he's left foot first, open shuffle. Boom. Okay, so those are the 3 drops we were working during this time. So good drill to really highlight the difference too. A lot of these young quarterbacks, let's see, 17 was young, 9 was young, 19. A lot of these young quarterbacks, they really don't grasp early on, if they're, depending on where they're coming from, what high school program they played in, whatever, they really don't grasp why it's important, that the routes and the drops match up. So I think that's something you can really make a point in with this drill. Really good drill to do in the spring or early fall camp. Base drill here. So we go base drill. We want to keep a base. We've talking about that. I had a coach that I respect a lot, a guy named David Faulkner. I don't mind telling you who it is. He's now, I think, at West Virginia still. He was the offensive coordinator at Hoover High School in Alabama before I went there in 2007. I went and met with him before I took that job and didn't know him at the time. We're really good friends now. But, one of the things he always mentioned was, balance, ball up, ball out. That was kind of his deal. I want our quarterbacks to be balanced with the ball up and get the ball out. And the 3 Bs he used to mention all the time. And I never forgot that. So as many drills as you can do, creative, that these guys can have a good base, react, and he's just moving side to side in this pocket. I've seen people do it with one. And one drill you can add to this sometimes is make them throw while they're straddling, and they have to really get their back foot over the top. Sometimes that's pretty good too to, short 6-inch step, get their back foot off the ground. But yeah, love this here, just moving them back and forth. And then quarterback, obviously coach here is clapping to get them to throw, put receivers in different places, work different routes. Again, we're throwing off the spot again. That's another, I think, theme. If you look around college and the NFL football, is that guys have to be able to throw off the spot, so to speak. Okay, escape drill. This is old school. This is really D-gap escapes, I guess, is what you could call this. Getting an upfield rusher to your offhand, spinning out of that thing. Believe it or not, that takes some work. Guys, it looks good. We don't want them really fading if we can. Good job there. He's getting in, and he's making them. He's just telling them by verbally which one to throw to, just so they don't know, and they can. And they're working on a guy, on the sideline, which is good. You see how we'd like for this guy, he was young, so he's still learning. When we got to stay on the move, the odds of you being able to do this and then set up, not get hit aren't good. So we like for these guys to stay on the move. Okay, those are 2 young quarterbacks there. But a good job there. And one thing I'll say about this, you can mix these up too. We just showed you the upfield hand here. You can go upfield here. We showed you this way in the front. You can also do it in the middle where they spin out, and obviously you can go both ways here as well. Make them escape. I think you have to talk to them about this all the time, about guys that can maneuver in the pocket with their eyes down the field. To me, those are the guys, as I start recruiting quarterbacks, and look, the guys that can make plays when everything's not exactly right, to me, are the guys that have the most opportunity to be successful, okay? Pocket awareness, okay? We use the exercise balls here, just trying to get these guys, again, to feel pressure. They don't know which ball is going to come first, and they just kind of, shoot them at each other. Good thing is if it hits them, it's not going to hurt them and all that good stuff. And, I've seen, there's times too, we'll just roll it where it's a little bit slower, but it's rolling at them, where they have to move around a little better. But just trying to get these guys to have a feel for being able to move in the pocket, and then he'll tell them when to throw. And be able to throw while things are around you. And when you do your routes on there, the old drill where you put 4 quarterbacks standing almost shoulder to shoulder, and they want to get wide. Why do they want to do that? Because they don't feel comfortable throwing in short in tight spaces. This is another way you can work that. Let them get their drop, let them feel that. You can see he protected the ball there. I really like that. He understood where pressure was, protect the ball, and he's not panicking. He's just shuffle over. Boom, keep a good base and throw it. Naked drill, if you run nakeds, this season we happen to be a big wide zone team. So if you're going to run wide zone from under or pistol, then you got to work the naked game off of it. And obviously there's a lot of different elements that could come here. Quick pressure in your face, a guy retracing and kind of get you, either way, whether your protection is a seal or just a pure naked. When you have a seal, what I mean is somebody's there to protect you, a protected naked, or you have a pure naked. Either way, both are good depending on what the defense is doing. But letting these guys understand that they have to sell the fake, okay? I know this one you don't see the beginning of this one. Have to sell the fake, and they have to get some depth and get their head around quick. I think that's important. I don't like here, his head around is not fast enough. He understands, he's playing the drill a little bit. And this guy may be a little tight to him too, okay? But I think those are important. And create the throws that you have in your naked game. If you have a guy in the flats and he's number 1 read, put him there. Make this guy move a little better. If your second read's the comeback or the climb coming to it, whatever naked you're running, set those guys up in those areas and make them do it, okay? Terrible snap here, 19. We should up down him for that. But we want to get the drill going realistic right here. I don't love the fake. It's not a great sell, okay? But he is getting his head around pretty quick, okay? And if they don't, one time they'll figure it out when a guy hits them up under the chin. So those are some things that we do there. And I think you can set these naked drills up however you want, whatever your naked is, whatever fits your offense, that's the way you set those up. So hopefully you got a drill or two there that you can use there in your offense, and feel free to steal and take. And if you have another good one, contact me and show me another one, and I'll add it too. So next, I want to talk about, when we talk about quarterback development, why is it so important? You know, when you look at quarterbacks, you get them in high school, they're coming out maybe of junior high, okay? And maybe you've had a great junior high program, but a lot of people, their first experience is when they get into high school. So how do you develop this guy over a period of 3 or 4 years and make him maximize his skill set? I think that's important. Guys get bigger and stronger, they get better arms, right? They can throw the ball down the field further or throw it with more velocity or whatever. But the fundamentals are extremely important. So how do we develop our quarterback physically? And then I think as much as anything, developing your quarterback mentally is maybe more important. Some of the best ones I've ever had were very smart. Nick Mullins is still playing right now. He's in the NFL. He's a backup with the Cleveland Browns. If he walked in the room, you wouldn't know he's an NFL quarterback probably, unless you knew who he was. But he's really smart. He's really detailed. He's competitive. And he understands what they're doing. He understands protections. He understands, obviously, the routes. His drops are always good. And he works on that stuff all the time. Jarrett Stidham, another guy we had at Auburn that was just a student of the game. Came to Auburn, learned protections. He learned coverages. He thirsted for knowledge. He wanted the pressure on him to get the protection right and so forth. Those are the guys that, as they develop, that's their development as far as football-wise goes, X's and O's, okay? And then there's the physical piece to it, whether it's your strength coach getting bigger, faster, and stronger, or fundamentals and footwork like we mentioned some of these. So I think all those things go hand in hand. Then there is also the leadership piece of it, where guys have to develop. Some guys aren't natural leaders. How do you do it? Well, use your personality, whatever it is, but it doesn't matter if you're the vocal guy or not the most vocal guy. Can you affect the other 10 guys that are playing? I think that's an important thing to leadership. Everybody does it a little different. If you follow football, obviously Coach Malzahn's had Cam Newton, who was a totally different personality than Nick Marshall, both equally as effective. Jarrett Stidham, not the same personality as either one of those guys, but equally effective. Nick Mullins, who I also had as well, same guy. And, you know, little things like him. If he ever did get sacked, he was going to pop up and be the first one to run off the field if it was third down. You know, he never wanted the defense to think they had gotten to him. So all those things, leadership looks different, but the common denominator is they affect people in a positive way, and I think that's what you're looking for quarterbacks. Well, all right, well, let's talk about one thing I wanted to show you that I think's a good thing that we do is developing our guys and their knowledge of football. We have something Coach Malzahn started here, when we were together in another place, that was called a protection period. And I really believe this is one of the most important things in developing our quarterbacks from a standpoint of on-the-field knowledge. And here's why. We understand that this is important because knowledge is power. If the quarterback knows what you know, think how much more effective he's going to be. Instead of just blindly following whatever you tell him to do, he gets it. He understands. And sometimes it takes 2 years for a guy to play before he finally gets it. But when that light goes off, whatever it is, it's really something special, and usually you have a really good quarterback. So this protection period, what we do is we get at least, and I know I put 8 to 10 here, we get at least 8 to 10 reps in a 5-minute period, okay? And I'll show you how it's set up in a minute. But 2 offenses are set up facing away from each other about 20 yards apart on opposite hashes. And I'll point that out to you when we get to the video. And this is not a full speed deal. This is only enough tempo to see where the guys end up. We don't want physical contact. We don't want guys going full speed. We don't want guys getting tangled up. This is part of our pre-practice, okay? We call it protection period. It's against our defense, okay? And they can run any blitz they want, okay? And then we tell them that. We're going to run several different protections. We're going to run a 6-man protection drop back, a 6-man protection quick game. We're going to run a 5-man protection, free release the back. We're going to also run a slide protection. Maybe it's a 7-man slide. Whatever's in that week or whatever's in our base offense, we're going to work it. And we're going to tell the defense, you run whatever you want, odd, even, whatever you can. Now, let's be honest. Us offensive guys understand that really it's either even, odd, or bare if you really think about it, okay, most of the time. But we have to figure out how we can ID it, and this gives us a great chance to do that, not where the coach has not prepared us and told us, hey, it's going to be an even front, sound pop, or whatever it is, okay? And then it makes us block our protection rules, okay? And I think this is a great way to build confidence in your O-line as far as what your protection is. And our quarterbacks, it's a great way to teach them the protection as well. So I think all these things are just extremely important, and it's the best thing I think that I've started doing over the last 5 or 6 years, okay? Now, you only need the core guys in here. Now you're going to see there's a couple of receivers standing out there just to indicate which way the passing strength is, but you can also just tell them, hey, it's 2 by 1, okay? No formations boundary, obviously, and 3 by 1 to the field here, or whatever. Verbally do it. And what I like to do is get it going rapid fire, back and forth, okay? The ones will go, boom, and we video it. And then the twos will go, video it, and back to the ones. And while the other group's going, they're going ahead and doing the communication, okay? You also get to work that overall communication that's extremely important in protection, in pass protection, between the quarterback, the O-line, and the running back. I think that's the most, when you look at protections, okay, other than just getting physically beat sometimes, which will happen, okay, we understand that. They got really good players on defense. If everybody's on the same page, no matter how you protect, there's a lot of ways to do it, okay? Just like any good offense. If everybody's on the same page, you should be okay, okay? And I'll show you that as we go. It helps teach the fronts. You'd be amazed how many kids come to college, they don't really understand an under-over front or an okie front, or hey, this is an odd front, or hey, this is bare. Now, I try to teach the quarterbacks that, hey, it's only 2 or 3 things. It cannot be like 10 different things. You've got to be able to classify the front into something that makes sense for you and your football team. Whatever your terminology is, use it. Teach your quarterbacks. Teach your running backs. They need to know what the O-line goes. And over my years, whether I was in high school or college, I think that's something that was extremely important to our success, was that everybody understood protection. If you're going to sell out and throw the football, and you better be able to protect it, okay? You better know when you're not protected. I think that's as important as anything, okay? So we also need to know who or where a hot throws are, okay? When the old deal about, a lot of times our hot routes or our hot throws are built in these days, okay? So it's just a matter of knowing, okay, yeah, I'm running Y cross out of 2 by 2, and they're giving me some kind of middle blitz out of the pressure. What's the Y supposed to do? You guys that run that play, well, if he feels the middle pressure, he should show his eyes to the quarterback, and there's your hot throw, right? Or, hey, it's press outside, and my first read's a go ball. Well, that's where I'm going with the ball because I'm getting pressure. And am I protected or am I not protected? That's also part of it as well. Complete understanding of their protections, That's what we're aiming for. And if you get 8 to 10, which we usually get 12 to 15 snaps every single day over a period of 15 practices in the spring, and as well as fall camp, and as well as every day of the season, they can't help but understand. And they get more and more comfortable. The communication piece is there. It's a time to make mistakes because you're learning, but it's a time that as you get going in the fall, you don't see near as many, where everybody understands what protection we're going. It stresses the importance of third downs as well. Hey guys, third down's a big pressure down. That's an emphasis. If you're good on third downs, if you're 50%, you'll probably be close to leading the country. So if you can stress the importance of third downs and keeping your quarterback upright, and then obviously we talked about it a while ago, quarterbacks that can move around and make plays are even more valuable. So this is a Leo Ray call, okay? So Leo Ray means in an even front, 3 letters, 3 words, they're sliding to the left or they're sliding to the right. In this example up here, we've got 3 fronts up here, 4-3 stack, 4 downs, stack, even under G, okay, the field's always to the right, okay, he's in an under front because he's not in a 3 technique, right? He's shaded on the guard, meaning the G. This is an even front, an over front. He's in a 3 technique, again, 2-backer box. Stack would identify that it's a 3-backer box, okay? So you can see how we've drawn the protection here. This is the slide side. So in a Leo call, if you're sliding to the first backer in the box that way, okay, whatever your designator is to tell the O-line that your back is over here, they are sliding away from that. So with the back being to the right, we're going to act like this guy's free releasing, okay? The back's to the right. That means we got a 3-man slide to the left and an even front. A gap, B gap, C gap. So quarterback should know I'm protected on the back side, unless they bring a 4th defender, which your back would have to go. To the front side of the call, that would mean whatever your call is, that would mean that we are in a man scheme on this side. So we're zoning this side, A gap, B gap, C gap, man on this side. This is how we teach day 1 protection, okay? That also means now that the back in the stack look, they know this backer's in the count, so to speak. What I'll say is in the count. Now I'm inside, outside to these 2, okay? So I've got the 3rd defender from the man side, which could be the Mike or the Sam, and I've got the 4th defender from the slide side, which would be hard for them to get to without spinning the secondary, which you can talk more about that later, okay? So the obvious question is, Coach, what if they bring the tackle, the end, the Mike, and the Sam? Well, obviously you're outnumbered. So there's two options. One is throw your hot route, like we mentioned earlier, wherever it is, understanding that I am hot if both come into the man side. The other option, and as you get to it, as your quarterback matures, and I've had guys in high school do it and in college, as they understand the protection, they'll go, well, coach, why don't I just slide it the other way? And then with the back's help, we'll have them all protected. Bingo. Then you got a guy that's figuring it out. Look at here, even under G, okay, two backer box. We're going to slide this way. We're good. Running back knows I got the mic now to the Sam, the nickel, whatever you want to call this guy. This would be versus a two high look. This would be even over front here. This would be back in a single high look. Same deal here. So now as we get to the video here, you can see how we set this up. Okay, now this is not a great picture of the other side, but I want to go ahead and show you this. We would have, you don't have to have these receivers here. They had them here just to show the strength for the defense. You can always just verbally tell them. That way your receivers can get some indie work during this time, okay, or your tight ends or whoever. So we're here, okay. Today we're working right hash on this side. And then you can also put your other group going on this side, okay. These don't worry about this. This is a walk through here. You can put these guys on the right hash going this way. So put them opposite each other. I'm not sure this video will show that. I think we were limited numbers that day. But here we go. Ball's on the right hash. Now we put the ball on the right hash here. So you put your ones here and your twos here. Again, we're talking about protection drill. Okay, so here we go. We're going against defense. I'm just going to show you the back shot here. Okay, it's an even front. Okay, good. We're teaching the front. So when I get the quarterbacks in the meeting the next day or I send the notes to them that night, I want them to ID the front, okay? If the field's this way, we would call this an even over front or just an over front, okay? This is a one backer box. So we're simulating that we're 2 by 2, one back, and they're in a one backer box, okay? So now whether we are in an array call, so we're calling protection, even though the back's over here, we're saying we're in a Lou call where they're sliding this way, okay? Or a Leo call, I'm sorry. So these three are going to slide to the left. The back's going to come across. Man here, man here. So watch how this plays out, just like the drawing was in the drawing. Okay, good. Backer's coming. He's coming right into A gap. That's the centers, A gap, B gap, C gap. And now the back's got the will linebacker, and these guys are working man to man. You have to account for this guy. You don't know he's going to drop. Now he can look for work once his guy drops, but the back will always be on that wheel. Okay, so good example of a Leo there. Okay, here's a game clip. Same deal. Only difference is the back's over here. It doesn't matter where you put the back. The Leo call is the same. Man here, three-man slide to the left. Okay, so here we go. Okay, you can see they're bluffing. Okay, they check the play or we check the play. So here we go, sliding to the left. You can see them, 1, 2, 3, A gap, B gap, C gap, man on man. Back now is checking. Okay, nobody's coming, he gets out. Okay, that's the way it works. Okay, bang, bang, throw and catch here. Nice job, though, execute. Okay, another clip here, just a couple of these. Leo call again. There's your O-line sliding to the left. Man to man here, nobody's coming. Backer checks, make sure he's out. Okay, now, if this guy here, the Mike backer, came A gap, or he went across, that's up to your O-line coach. What we would do is we would work to the first backer in the box, and if he crosses face, the center would go with him, okay? That way now the back, all he's got to worry about is the nickel player out here, the Sam or nickel, and the will linebacker who's out of the picture here, or any obviously safety pressure that they would take care of. So that's how we would ID it, and that's how and here we go, we get the ball out, big play, touchdown versus the Gators. We love that. All right, next. Okay, one more here, Leo call, sliding to the left. Great. It's always great when you got a zone side and they're twisting. You feel like you got 3-on-2 over there and a little better chance. This is always tough on the man side. Really good job by the tackle there of understanding and trying to get physical into this guy, and they were able to pick it up. Quarterback was able to get the ball out. Okay, no completion, but he got the ball out, no sack, no turnover. Again, one more here, sliding to the left. Okay, I'm going to go through this pretty quick, but good job there. Ball's out, running back understands the protection, he's out. There's nothing better than getting your back out in protection. Guys, let your O-line block the 5 that are coming. Try to get your back out. He's another receiver. Okay, I just wanted to show you an A-gap pressure here. Same protection, sliding to the left. Okay, you see the center is going to take this guy. Okay, A-gap. Okay, B-gap. Guard's got B-gap. What does that guy do? Oh, he's going to stunt, go outside. Great. Don't panic. You understand if he's going there's another guy coming. He does a great job. He almost gets in a bad position, but he does get enough on him to get the ball out, which is good enough. I'd like to see, I guarantee you, Coach Hand told that 65, what are you looking at, dude? He's coming right to you. Get off of him quicker. Great job by the back. These are the backs that play at the next level. This guy will for sure, and he's coming back. We're fired up about that. Toughest one is an A-gap pressure. You're 5 yards deep. He's at the line of scrimmage. Great job. You got to go attack him. Good job stoning him there. Nice throw, nice catch. Okay? Raise, same thing the other way. I'm not going to go through it all again, but same thing the other way. And then I wanted to show you a couple clips of it here. I think it's always cool. Notice the tempo too. I think that's important, especially high school. Sometimes it's hard to get them to understand the tempo. Maybe show them this video, whatever. This is not Lawrence Taylor pass rush moves, right? This is just assignment football, but a good tempoed walkthrough-ish type tempo where you can really get a good look. And it really helps these guys here. You can see they're sliding to the right here, and they may actually have had a Leo call on. If you look at this, the back's to the right. Not that always matters, but you can see they check it right here because they tighten cadence or they double clap here. They see the pressure coming, so they slide it that way. Now the back knows I'm over here. Okay, and he knew there was no pressure, so he's out. Again, quickly working through reps, getting a bunch of mental reps, physical reps of doing this. There's your slide to the right, A gap, B gap, C gap. They're only bringing 2 there. Man side's over here, bull rushing those guys. Quarterback's got a good clean pocket, makes a good quick decision. That was a big time conversion there. Nice throw, nice catch, okay? Again, here we go. 3-man slide to the right, okay? He tries to cross center's face. What does center do? Goes with him. He knows that's in the count, so I got to. Ball's out. Nice throw, nice catch. Clean pockets. Okay, another one here. Ray call sliding to the left. Okay, are they giving us some kind of double A gap pressure? Could be what we would call either bullets or we would call gut cross or whatever, but they're bailing, getting out of there. Back understands that. He checks out. Great job. A while ago, I pointed out 65. Look how much quicker. He saw it. He reacted. He flattened him off. Nice pocket for there's the throw for the little bang 8 in there. So good job there. Okay. So the obvious question is, Coach, all those were even fronts. What about odd fronts? Yep. Guys, we got to learn odd fronts too. And I'm talking to the quarterbacks now during these meetings. This is not an O-line tape. This is a quarterback tape. Okay? Odd front. Typically, let's just start by saying, hey, we're going to 4-man slide versus an odd front away from the back. Okay? Let's just say you may not do it that way. There's a lot of ways to do it. You can fade it. You can 4-man slide it only versus the call or only whatever the call is away from it. Or you can 4-man slide to people. Wherever you game plan for that week, it doesn't matter. This is an odd front, what we would call an odd front. This is what we would call an Okie front. Okie meaning the bandits up on the line of scrimmage. Okay, again, it's just like a Leo and Ray. You're just adding an extra guy to it. 4 for 4, you're sliding A gap, B gap, C gap. This guy's checking out, act like he's out. Now that tells this defensive end here that, hey, they said Lake, or it tells this right tackle, I'm sorry, I've got the 4-eye, or I've got the tackle or end, whatever you want to call him, no matter where he goes. Okay, so now he's manned but by himself. Now that tells the running back, I'm still dual reading this way. Rock and late calls, safest for the quarterback, because the quarterback, he knows now there's nothing that can get me to a 4-man slide. And that's the beauty of this protection. Obviously, the drawback, they could 2 to your back. And you got ways you can maneuver that, okay? You can flip it the other way. You can move the back around. A lot of ways to handle that. But all it is the same thing in my mind, the way I teach it to the quarterbacks, it's just add an extra man. So if it's even, it's a 3-man slide. If it's odd, it's a 4-man slide. Pretty simple, okay? So as we get these looks, same deal, defense lines up. And the beauty about these protection walkthroughs is that they can play even or odd. And that makes the center make a call, communicate to everyone up front. One way I've thought that's really good for the quarterbacks, if you don't always 4-man slide odd, let the quarterback do that when he feels like he needs to, if he knows protections well enough, and that gives him a safety net, so to speak. Man, 3rd down, there's a bunch of junk over here. Now, I would say this. I would want these defensive guys to clean this out a little bit. That can confuse the quarterback. So I'd make sure these guys are out of the way or at least deep here where they're not in the count. But anyway, making a long story short, odd here. They're going to slide the protection to the bandit. You see that's it's really a 4-man front kick that way. That's really all it is. We do not want our running back blocking him. That's a bad mismatch. So we would 4-man slide it to this guy. Now, if this guy's a little DB guy, no problem. Running back, you could have your protection designed to block him. And that's the one thing about game planning is how do I protect this week that makes sense based on the looks, the pressures I'm getting, but also my own personnel. I think that's really important, okay? So here we go. Backs on this side over here, okay? They are in what we would call a lake protection. They're going to slide to the left, understanding that pressure's coming from this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back knows he's out. Okay, you can see they're trying to grab the back here. It doesn't matter. Back knows 15's not coming, and also nobody off the edge, so he's out in the route. Okay, good clip of it. Here it is in the game. Okay, you can see right here. I think the quarterback here actually changes the slide. Okay, because he saw the guy walked up. So we're sliding in. We're in a late call here. So that means the guard now has A gap. Now you're going to see this nose. He's going to come over in A gap and maybe even sometimes try to cross his face. He's going to take him because he is in the call here. Okay, he is inside the protection, so he's going to take him. Okay, so what we would say in the count, so to speak. 73 now. A right tackle would be man to man. Back would have 1 to 2. Anybody else from the secondary. Remember, we're safe here with a 4-man slide. We don't have to worry about anything that side. Okay, questions? All right, good. All right, so here we go again. I know the back's here. He's going to check out, so don't worry about him, okay? So here we go. Ball's on the left hash. I think this is a left hash call. Yep, left hash call. And this, they are going ahead and laking this, okay? Now, if I don't have the back shot on this, but it could be somebody over here that worried about corner, game plan, whatever. It doesn't matter. Or we just said we're going to lake it this game because the percentage of pressures come from this side or whatever. However you want to do it, it all needs to fit according to what your game plan is, okay? I want to make that emphasis there. There's our back. He understands I'm 1 to 2 anywhere here, so I'm out. Okay, this is late in the game, looks like, or late in the half, okay? Here's another clip of it here, one more here of a lake protection. Obviously, he feels the pressure coming from this way. Watch what the quarterback, if I go back, he actually changed this protection, seeing the pressure. Great job right there, getting him on the same page. He walks up, he slides the protection that way. You can see they communicate it. Now the back knows I'm out here to anybody else from the secondary. Great job there. Okay, rock call, same thing the other way. Now I'm sliding to the right. Okay, here's a couple practice clips. Okay, a couple practice clips here. Sliding to the right. Back knows he's on him. A lot of times they'll come take on man, so you got to get out. Okay, good job there, or they'll add on. Okay, here's 1, 2, same thing. Overload this way. I think the quarterback did check this one, or the center, getting forward that way, knowing that this is okay for a matchup on our back. Now, this number 5 for us, grown man, so he can block a lot of them. But still, we don't want him on a 250-pound bandit, okay? This is a regular linebacker. They're like they're overloading this way. No reason for the back to come across. Let's just slide it into it. Back's got him, okay? So nice job there. Good protection. Gave him time. Big play down the field. Great job executing there. Okay, here we go. Couple more here. I'm going to hurry up and get through this. Okay, rock call. Great. Remember, now the guard's tied to the slide. They try to cross the guard's face. He's got to go with him. Okay, he does. Okay, back's in a play fake here, but he's going to make sure we'll never substitute protection. Nobody's coming. He knows he don't have any responsibility. Great job by the Q there, stepping up. Okay, great catch that right there. Good job taking a hit there. Okay, here we go again. Bandit looks like he's walked up. We'll 4-man slide it. He technically is in the count, must be into the half or something. Now the back knows I'm 1 to 2 off the edge that way. Okay, so nice job there. Good clean pocket. Great job executing. It all starts with our pre-practice protection period. Again, we're going to see a protection here. Okay, this is a game plan deal. So this is a 3 down front and 3 backers. What you might refer to as a stack, okay, or 3-1. I'm not sure what your terminology would be. We determined that we were going to slide toward this guy. We had either a tendency or knew he was coming, or we didn't mind the matchup with our back on him. So we're in a rock call here. 4 for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Locked on here. Back's got him. Okay, pretty simple. Okay, and obviously, like I mentioned earlier, the answer by the defense will be blitzing your back, right? So you got to be able to move the back around or change the protection. It's a game changer when you can do that. Okay, jam call. Basically, this is a 5-0 call or 5 for 5. Okay, I told you earlier, we want to block the 5 that are most likely to come. That's what we're looking to do. When they line up and give us this look, we're going to go 5 for 5. Some people refer to it as jam. Some people refer to it as bear. Whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. Okay, here's a couple clips of it. You can see they walk up, they build to it late. We make the call, whatever it is. Now the back's on him. Okay, back's got the mic to anybody off the protection. Drawback of this, you got 5 1-on-1 blocks. You lose your slide. Okay, so you want to make sure that you jam it when it needs to be jammed. Okay, you don't want to jam it and then they back out of it and now you lose your slide because now the odds are 5 1-on-1 blocks are harder than a slide. Okay, so good job there. Nice job with protection. Great job. You can see, well, here's a jam call again. Now the Mike linebacker is going to walk up. Okay, probably got a tendency. Center makes a jam call. Okay, a lot of times they'll try to get their Mike 1-on-1 versus center. Okay, where he can get a running start at him. Now the back knows he's got 13. Okay, they jammed it here. You can see them doing it. They're checking it, or they're 5-0ing it, I think is what they called it. So here we go. 13's off the edge. Back knows he's not coming. He's out. So at least we're all on the same page. And the key to it is having everybody on the same page. 5-man jam, again, just making sure we're in a 5-man protection. This is why the quarterback has to know. If you're going to free release or be in an empty protection, this would be a jam call. Quarterback now is responsible for anybody else. And a lot of times we'll just do that based on I'm going to get the ball out. If they overloaded one side, we would bang it down and turn the in-mound line of scrimmage free to the call side that the quarterback gives you, okay? Another clip here, okay, 5-man protection. You can see they're bringing it, okay, this guy's on the quarterback, free releasing to the back. So the ball would either go here or to a slant, something like that. Okay, last thing here, power screen. Okay, I just want to give you one play. I felt like when I would want one play if I was you wanting to hear all this. So this was a screen we ran. We still run now, but several years ago we were really, really good at it. So I got some clips of it. If you run power, which I feel like most people do, this is a great screen, okay? It is a screen off the power, okay? A couple coaching points as you see the drawing. If you're writing this down, this is a play that we like to run. We can run it on either hash, but the formation is important because we don't want an alley defender if we can help it. So if you're on the right hash and you're in a formation where you got 2 receivers to the field on the right hash, if you can get to a coverage where you don't have an alley defender or they're pressuring you, it's even better. You do that. Also, our guy here, he needs to be 4 yards off, okay, for this to be good. Now, some people will snap it versus press. If you love your guy, maybe if you got a big-time receiver there and he's going to win no matter what, but it's a better play when you get a little space, okay? So teams that want to play 3 buzz to trips, spin to trips that way and play cover 3, great idea maybe to run this play, okay? If you can see just a couple coaching points here, we're talking about the O-line. Basically, that tackle, he is the play side tackle, or the backside tackle, I'm sorry, is the way it referred to the screen side. Low pads, 2 quick steps in B gap, and release to kick out the corner. Now, he's got to go as flat as he needs to be. If the guy's up in press and we guess wrong, he's got to go flat, but he's responsible for number 1, okay? The guard, the left guard, is going to pull just like power, okay? If you can see right here, he's going to block just like power. Our center is going to block power, and then he's going to release to block the alley, in theory, number 2. So he's going to block back and slip him. Sometimes they'll try to avoid him. Sometimes they'll act like they're going to block him. Good centers get a feel for that. He's got number 2 in the alley who shows, or a safety that shows, or even sometimes maybe a will linebacker, okay? Our backside guard, he's going to block power, and what we would refer to as check cage, okay? And back, he's going to go back to the back like he would on power, and then his job is to get the will linebacker. If the will linebacker turns to chase, obviously he's going to take him. That's who on paper he would block. Anytime a D lineman, like nose or 3 technique, tries to chase and run, he will also clean that up to get the play started. Sometimes you have to do that, and I think you'll see a clip of that in just a second, okay? So the play side tackle, what does he do? Play side tackle is going to block power back. He's going to block back just like he would if we were running power, okay? Play side tackle will do that, and he will work up, and a lot of times he is not extra. Sometimes he can clean up, but a lot of times he'll get up to the mic, okay? So as you can see on paper, we got them all accounted for. All right, the tight end or 3-back, or if you're in trips, the number 3 receiver, he's going to go to the free safety. That's his job. That's his rule, okay? Okay, he's going to release vertically down the middle of the field. He's going to try to cut off the boundary safety, okay? The 9-man, who is our boundary receiver here, okay? This is important, okay? He's going to split. It's got to be one below the numbers. That's where we want to split. And we're going to push 3 steps at a 45-degree angle, okay? This takes work in your individual. And then we're going to run back to the line of scrimmage, square to the quarterback. Extremely important to get square to the quarterback. Quarterback has got to have a good throw, and I'll talk about that in just a second. Secure the catch, tight turn, get vertical, inside the kick-out block in an ideal situation, okay? Okay, obviously the receivers to the field, they're just blocking, run off and blocking. I mentioned the number 3 receiver. Quarterback, most important part of this play is the quarterback with the fake. He's got to make the linebackers believe that it's power, okay? And his job, so we would tell him to extend the ball, ride the Packer fake while he's gaining depth, okay? Quick 1-2 drop, hit the 9-man on the upfield number so he can run through the catch. If you don't make a good throw, it's no good because it's all a timing play, okay? So there's a couple clips of that, okay? If you don't have it, I'm going to pause it for a second. You can make your notes or whatever, or you can go back and watch it and see it. Okay, here's a couple clips. Just wanted to show you. Okay, so here we are in trips to the field. Okay, we're getting off coverage, and this is one of those deals where we were hoping they were blitzing. I thought they were, And but they end up not. The guy drops, but our guy makes it right. Sometimes good players make it happen. But watch the quarterback. The back is slow. He's going to slide and dive just like Power, and he's deep, a little bit deeper. And the quarterback's going to take it to him and then retreat 1-2. And then you can see he makes a decent throw. I'd like for it to be the upfield, but I'd like for him to run through the catch as well. But I think the quarterback handcuffed him a little bit. We got pretty lucky here. Our backside guard here, number 71, did an outstanding job because the nose tried to chase it down. He stayed on him, understood the concept of the play. You can see our tackle here. He's getting flat. This guy becomes number 1, even though pre-snap, he's 1. This guy becomes 1. He has to take him. Okay, and you can see guard's looking for the wheel. Wheel doesn't show. He's up on number 2, and backside guard makes it right. And then you get it to a guy that can run, and things are good. Let's check our tight end out, or our number 3 receiver. Did he get to the backside safety? We told them if they thought it was man, they could run him off. Really probably should have made sure he went and just blocked the safety. I think you're better off just saying that rule there, okay? So he's got the backside safety. Okay, couple more here. I'll show this one from behind here. Okay, you can see really good job here. When you get that pull with that power, you can see these backers, they can't help themselves. They think it's power, okay, and they fit it, and that gives your tackle and your offensive line. You see the backside tackle getting up here. He ends up on the wheel, which usually it's not going to work that way, and the play fake made that work there, okay? Okay, another one here. We just motioned to it, find a different way to do it. They did play odd. We thought they'd be 4 down, but we figured the guy would come. We got plenty of room here. He's at least 4 yards off. Backers tucked in the box. Great look for it. Sell it, and we're in a tight end set here. So we were in trips a while ago. Now we're in a tight end set with trips. He's going to fake it, retreat, get big. Great job by the receiver here. He needs to run off the ball a little better. Make it look the same, man. Be good actors. Don't make it look any different than you would if you run off the ball in a route. Okay, not a great throw. A little bit handcuffed him again here, but really great job to get it to a great player. He tight turn. There's your kick out by your tackle. Look at your center. He's up. Nobody's there. He turns inside looking for number 2. Okay, and your backside guard's taking care of the mic. And then look at this. This is an excellent job by the tight end here of him going to the safety. Okay, he gets up. He makes that happen. Great block there. You can see the receiver backside. He's running his butt off trying to get a block. And then watch the guy at the top come running in. That's good football. That's good football. Guys are trying to help guys score, executing the play like we designed. Really nice job here. Okay, here it is from the back. Okay, here comes the guard pull. Boom. Retreat, get big. A little better throw, but nice job there. Had it called into a pressure, which is even better. Okay, here we go. One more. Just wanted to show you this one. This is a right hash play. We're in an overset. Okay, we figured we would get a certain pressure here, and we did, and we checked it. If it didn't get the pressure, but it's into pressure, okay? Not an alley player. He's got to get out and help carry. Great job right here of executing. Not panicking, showing the ball to the back. Okay, now he would try to get up to the safety or just run off. Here comes our left tackle. He probably contacted him a little too much. He tried to get out. The center got out and made him right. They actually basically switched responsibilities, but it all worked out. You get it to a guy that can make a play. Great job blocking downfield here. You can see great execution, and then you get it to a guy that can make it happen. Players are the key. Plays are great, but players make them go, right? That's what you got to remember. Here we go. Great job. You can see the guard pulling here. Makes number 6 trigger. Sets up the angles for the O-line. Great into pressure. Great answer to teams that want to pressure you, especially run pressures into power and so forth. Okay, last one here. Just window dress it a little different. We were in this set a lot, and we would bubble. So we're going to fake the bubble. Again, we said if it was a key coverage and he was inside, we would check the play. When it's single high, he's head up to outside. We're good. Fake the bubble, get him outside with it. He's reacted. Now come back underneath. Gives your tackle time to get out. They did actually play it decent. Great job by our guard here. Ryan Davis gets upfield, makes a play. Big gain against a good football team. Again, it all goes back to the details. We did not put the guy here this time. We window dressed it, showed him a different look. We ran power from the side as well. So that was a great compliment. You can see it really affected the mic or the will linebacker. The mic didn't necessarily believe it. Quarterback probably could do a little better job making him believe it, but it did work out for us. So nice play there. Okay, so that's our power screen. Hope you guys got something out of this today. I think for sure the QB drills, maybe get 1 or 2 of those. Whatever your drills are, man, just spread them out, work them, make the guys believe in it, make them competitive, make them fun. And then obviously I think when you talk about development, man, protections, understanding coverages. When I sign quarterbacks, the first thing when I'm recruiting them is I want to put them on the board, Teach me your offense. Teach me your favorite play. How do y'all protect it? What are the routes? What's the depth of the routes? All those things are important. And protections, I can't stress enough. You got to be able to protect yourself, okay? And then hopefully if you want to use that power screen, great. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. You can get my email off the website, and be glad to help any of you. Hope you guys have a great season. Best of luck to you. Go Knights. Thanks.